Horror doesn't always mean gore and nightmares. Cozy horror is spooky, soft, and made for people who usually avoid the scary stuff, and today I have a list of 10 movies perfect for you. By the by, I'm the movie guy and let's start this list. At number 10 we have John Carpenter's The Thing, a horror classic that perfectly balances terror with atmosphere. The film follows a group of scientists isolated in a research station in Antarctica who discover that an alien organism has infiltrated their camp. This creature can imitate any living being, and as suspicion grows, the group begins to unravel under the weight of paranoia, never sure who is still human and who has been replaced. While the premise sounds terrifying, what makes The Thing such a perfect cozy horror pick is its mood. The endless white snow, the howling winds outside, and the claustrophobic warmth of the station inside. It's less about jump scares and more about tension, slow dread, and a mystery that invites the viewer to play detective. Watching it feels like settling into a stormy winter night, unnerving but strangely comforting. At number 5 we have Beetlejuice, Tim Burton's colorful, eccentric take on the afterlife that proves horror can be fun as well as spooky. The story follows a recently deceased couple who find themselves haunting their old home only to discover that the living family moving in is more terrifying than being dead. Desperate to reclaim their space, they summon the mischievous and chaotic ghost Beetlejuice, whose help quickly spirals into mayhem. While it plays with creepy imagery, twisted creatures, ghostly realms, and a gothic aesthetic, what makes Beetlejuice perfect for cozy horror is its playfulness. It's filled with quirky humor, cartoonish scares, and a sense of Halloween charm that makes it more comforting than frightening. Burton's world feels like a haunted house that you'd actually want to visit. Strange, eerie, but always inviting. It's horror through a carnival lens, making it the perfect choice for people who don't usually like being scared. At number 8 we have John Carpenter's The Fog, a ghost story that wraps its scares in atmosphere and old-fashioned campfire mystery. The film takes place in a quiet coastal town preparing to celebrate the centennial, when a strange glowing fog begins rolling in from the sea. Hidden within the mist are the vengeful spirits of mariners who died in a shipwreck a century earlier, returning to claim retribution from the descendants of those who wronged them. What makes The Fog such a strong fit for cozy horror is the way it feels like a chilling bedtime story. The seaside setting, the rhythmic crash of waves, and the rolling mist creates a moody, almost soothing backdrop even as the danger grows. Rather than relentless shocks, Carpenter builds tension slow, letting the town's eerie silence and ghostly glow carry the fear. It's spooky, atmospheric, and perfect for a stormy night watch. At number 7 we have Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak, a gothic romance that blends haunting beauty with unsettling ghosts. The story follows Edith, an inspiring writer who falls in love with a mysterious baronet and moves into his crumbling family mansion, only to find that the house itself seems alive with secrets. Blood-red clay seeps through the floors, the halls echo with whispers, and ghostly figures drift through the corridors. While it has its moments of terror, what makes Crimson Peak ideal for cozy horror is its elegance. Del Toro crafts the film like a living painting, full of candlelight, veiled shadows, and a sense of tragic romance. It's less about shock and more about atmosphere, the comfort of curling up with a gothic novel brought to life on screen. Both eerie and beautiful, it's a film that unsettles without overwhelming, making it perfect for those seeking spooky but soft. At number 6 we have House on the Haunted Hill from 1959, a campy yet atmospheric classic that captures the fun side of old school horror. The plot is simple but effective. Eccentric millionaire Frederick Lauren invites a group of strangers to spend the night in a supposedly haunted mansion, promising a cash prize to anyone who makes it until morning. As the night unfolds, the guests encounter eerie noises, ghostly apparitions, and unsettling secrets within the house's dark halls. Starring Vincent Price at his most delightfully sinister, the film mixes spooky thrills with a playful tone, never taking itself too seriously. What makes it perfect for cozy horror is how much it feels like a haunted house attraction. Creaky doors, sudden scares, and gothic charm, all wrapped in a safe, theatrical package. It's creepy without being overwhelming, a black and white ghost story that entertains more than it terrifies, making it easy to enjoy on a quiet night. At number 5 we have Misery, a Stephen King adaptation that trades haunted houses and monsters for something more intimate and unsettlingly human. The story follows novelist Paul Sheldon, who crashes his car in a snowstorm and is rescued by Annie Wilkes, his self-proclaimed #1 fan. At first, she seems kind and nurturing, caring for him in her remote cabin, but it quickly becomes clear that Annie has a terrifying obsession with Paul's work and no intention of letting him go. What makes Misery perfect for cozy horror is its balance between tension and atmosphere. The snowbound cabin feels almost comforting, a place where you could curl up by the fire, except for the fact that danger lurks just across the room. Instead of relentless gore, the film thrives on claustrophobic suspense and unsettling character dynamics, making it chilling yet oddly digestible for viewers who prefer their horror more psychological than graphic. At number 4, we have Trick or Treat, a modern cult favorite that feels like curling up with a Halloween storybook. Structured as an anthology, the film weaves together several tales of mischief and terror that all take place on the same Halloween night in a small town. From creepy neighbors to vengeful spirits to a strange trick-or-treater named Sam, each story captures a different side of the holiday, playful, eerie, and sometimes chilling. What makes Trick or Treat perfect for cozy horror is the seasonal charm. The film is drenched in autumn vibes. Glowing pumpkins, crunchy leaves, costume kids, and candlelit streets. While it has its scares, they're balanced with a sense of fun and tradition, like telling ghost stories around a campfire. It's spooky without being overwhelming, a film that celebrates Halloween as much as it frightens, making it the kind of horror you can revisit every fall. At number 4, we have The Mummy from 1959, Hammer Horror's richly atmospheric take on the classic Universal monster. Starring Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, the film tells the story of archaeologists who uncover the tomb of Princess Ananka, only to awaken Karis, a vengeful mummy sworn to protect her resting place. What follows is a mix of gothic spectacle, suspense, and tragic romance as the lumbering figure relentlessly pursues those who disturb the tomb. Unlike modern horror, The Mummy leans heavily on mood, foggy swamps, candlelit crypts, and richly colored sets that feel like stepping into an old storybook. It's chilling in tone but never overwhelming, offering more eerie elegance than outright terror. That's what makes it perfect cozy horror. It's like wrapping yourself in a gothic fairy tale with just enough menace to keep you engaged, but with the warmth and charm of classic cinema to soften the scares. At number 2, we have The Craft, a teen horror film that blends high school drama with witchy supernatural thrills. The story follows Sarah, a new student who befriends 3 outcast girls dabbling in witchcraft. Together they form a coven and begin casting spells to improve their lives, but as their powers grows, so does the darkness within their circle. While the film explores betrayal, obsession, and the dangers of unchecked power, what makes The Craft such a perfect cozy horror pick is its vibe. The 90s style, moody soundtrack and focus on friendship give it a comforting familiarity, while the witchcraft elements adds just the right amount of spooky charm. It's not about relentless terror, it's about atmosphere, identity, and the allure of the occult, making it as much a coming-of-age story as a horror film. For viewers who want something spooky yet stylish, The Craft is an easy favorite. At number 1, we have Child's Play, the film that introduced the world to Chucky, the killer doll with a sinister smile. The story begins when young Andy receives a good guy doll as a gift, unaware that it has been possessed by the soul of a serial killer using voodoo to cheat death. What follows is a series of strange and frightening events as Andy's mother and the police slowly realize that the seemingly harmless toy is alive and deadly. While the premise is undeniably creepy, what makes Child's Play fit so perfectly into cozy horror is its playful edge. The idea of a children's toy turned villain is more mischievous than truly terrifying, and the film leans into that mix of camp and suspense. Watching Chucky crack sinister one-liners while causing chaos feels more fun than nightmarish, making a cult classic the ultimate scary but soft horror film for non-horror fans. That's my cozy horror list, scary but soft. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite cozy horror movie in the comments. Until next time, keep on watching movies, guys.